Welcome back to another Tul World Podcast. I'm your host, David, and I'm here with Master Jew.
Well, hello there, David.
Hello.
Usually you say David Jew, but today it's David.
It's just David.
David. That's okay. Well, that's kind of interesting, you know. In Taekwondo, we always refer each other to our last names, don't we?
Right.
Mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is also interesting if you kind of watch those Korean dramas, Korean drama shows.
Yeah.
They seem to always refer to their seniors like their title, right?
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't say Mr. Smith, they would say President Smith or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of interesting to me as well. It's not just a Taekwondo etiquette, but it seems more of a Korean culture etiquette. Like President Che, he actually likes, I think he prefers to be called President Che than Sabanim or Sasungnim, whatever,
Yeah.
right? Great grandmaster, but more of that title, vice president, or a president called someone if you're the vice president or chairman.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You hear that in Korean drama, chairman so and so,
Yeah.
right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
So what are we calling you? Chairman Jew podcast
Host? I don't know.
host. Anyway, what's on the agenda today, Mr. Jew?
Last week we kind of talked about what inspired Master Wheatley to do Taekwondo, and he had explained that he had started his club at a red belt, and I thought that was pretty interesting because he was quite young, wasn't even a black belt yet, and that kind of relates to the idea that now is the best time to start something. So what is your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, when you say young,
Young in rank.
young in range, that's right, because I'm gonna guess, I'm not sure exactly how old he would have been. He's 10 years older than I am. Red belt, I think he maybe in his 20s. You know, today it's a little bit different, right? We have a lot of young age students. So although they might be red belts, they're probably not going to start a club.
Yeah.
Because they're so young. So can an adult at a fairly low rank start a club? Absolutely. I know some adults that started a club when they're blue belts, especially when you're out in nowhere and you know there's no instructor. You might be the highest rank and you're just doing it, right? Oh, what was your question?
But do you have any experience on just starting things up, seeing where it goes, regrets, things that you wish you had done but didn't get to do?
You know, I get accused of being a bull in a China store. What? You heard of that?
Never heard of that. No.
You know, a bull going through a China shop.
Oh, like actual bull.
Yeah, like a bull.
Oh,
yeah,
like
just
a bull.
like destroys everything. No plan, just going through it, right? And I get accused of that because I have no plan. I just jump into stuff. And so to answer your question, yeah, what's the right time to jump into something? Obviously, you want to have some kind of plan, right?
Yeah.
But you can't always talk about it, right? Action speaks louder than words. So sometimes you hear stuff like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to it as soon as something happens, like or as soon as I get that right time, or as soon as I get the money, or as soon as whatever," and that may never transpire. It's because it's always that dream, but you never really act on it. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. The difficult part sometimes is also the consistency afterwards too.
What do you mean?
To keep doing it as well.
Just plugging along. Oh, you jumped into it, you were
you
excited about it, and then
Well, I mean, and I cut part of the video, like the fall festival.
Okay. Well, no. That's a good topic. I mean, let's bring it in. You know, that's so true. You get so excited and you jump into it, and maybe you haven't thought through it enough, or maybe it's not quite what you thought it was like. I mean, to give you an example, I think we were working on a project for our shopping center, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened there?
We didn't plan enough.
We didn't plan. Well, I think we had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what ended up happening was that let's put some background about what we're talking about. We wanted to do a festival in our shopping center, trying to help build people to come into our center, help the local business. And we were going to do demo, a little tournament or something. We were planning on having our local dance school bring a little demo to the field.
Mm-hmm.
Just, maybe some food, like an open house.
Mm-hmm.
And it was exciting. I think it was an exciting idea. I think it's still an exciting idea. Mm-hmm. And we try to push through it, right? But after you stop to think about it and you put yourself in the place of the consumer and you kind of think about, well, why would I go to this event?
Yeah.
Right? Do I want to go watch a martial art demonstration? Do I want to go? And so when you stop to think about it, we kind of looked at it and it's like, maybe it's not the right idea. We were plunging forward, yet we had to reevaluate what we were doing. And so I think we just kind of put a hold on it. Mm-hmm. Not to say we're not going to do it. It's just that we do have to plan on it, right? You do want to plan and make it work. So when's the right time to start something? Well, I think you should jump into something. You got to take action. Mm-hmm. You can't wait. I mean, that's kind of like in Taekwondo. I get people that says, "Oh, I want to do martial art so I can defend myself." And why did that happen? Because either they got assaulted, maybe someone they knew got assaulted personally, or maybe the times seem scary, and now all of a sudden they want to do it. But if you let it sit for a while, those people say, "Oh, I want to do it because I want to learn self-defense," but then they sit on it for a month or two, and all of a sudden that urgency is no longer there. And should they have done it? Well, we don't know what the future is going to hold, but for sure they should have jumped right in. Because what if something did happen to them down the road?
Right.
We don't know, but you have to prepare for that. From that point of view, yes, you should jump into something.
Right.
Get it going. But you got to have somewhat of a plan. Well, we have that Tul World Summit coming up.
We do have the Tul Summit coming up.
And that's the same thing too, I mean, we actually have been thinking about this for a long time, talked to people about it, and it just seemed like it could work, especially virtually. We did talk about getting all of these master instructors and so that they can share their ideas about Taekwondo, but that's kind of hard to do. Right. Just to get everyone around the country to a place and do something. But virtually, I think we can do that. I mean, you can definitely do those kind of things like at a world championship, maybe a national championship.
Right.
But that's an event, and you're trying to add another event on top of an event.
Yeah.
And so that's much more difficult.
Maybe next year could do an in-person one.
Maybe. But I kind of we'll see what happens. I kind of like this idea just because you can maybe reach a lot of people. I mean, the reality is when you're starting to have to travel, I mean, we could host it, I guess. But if you're on the East Coast and you got a flight to San Francisco, that's going to be $600-700.
Yeah.
Just in plane tickets.
Right.
And not that it won't be exciting. It's just, it's kind of expensive in a way.
Yeah.
For a lot of people. And timing, of course.
Well, thanks for jumping into another Tul World podcast. Make sure to register for the Tul World Summit coming up soon. Don't forget to be safe.
Keep training.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Take one.